What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Cantina Talk. What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be going over every piece of footage that we currently have for episode 5 of The Acolyte. I have uncovered some very interesting things that I think will blow a lot of you away. Quickly, I would just like to ask that you like and subscribe. We are so close to approaching 3,000 subscribers, and my goal is to hit that by July 26th. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Alrighty, so there's a lot that will be happening in next week's episode. I've uncovered possible deaths and plot points, so this is your spoiler warning. I would also just like to add that I was the first person to uncover Shin Hati's unconscious body in a TV spot for the Ahsoka show when it was releasing at the time, so this is my bread and butter. Once again, in case I am right about any of this, you have been warned. So with this week's episode, we were left on a cliffhanger with this Dark Jedi, a Sith Lord, after they had floated down and thrown Osha like a ragdoll, and then force pushed all the Jedi away, right before cutting to black. Throughout this video, I'm going to be referring to this Dark Jedi or Sith Lord as just the Acolyte. With that, I have taken all the clips from the TV spots and trailers that we have currently and have compiled them into a 56-second trailer in what I believe to be chronological order. I'm going to go ahead and play that for you right now, and then I'll be breaking it down afterwards, diving deep into this.
But you are no Jedi. I sense something. What are you?
Getting like an actual.
All the different style student. Dark side. Open. I sensed.
We have a suspect, an old.
That you will not win.
I didn't do it!
If you want.
JJ is just a cool.
JJ knows how to switch from being.
Alrighty, so with the first shot, we see Yord performing a saber lock with the Acolyte, and there's another Jedi standing there. I believe that this is the same Jedi that was standing next to Yord right before they got force pushed away, based on the correlation between these two. There's going to be a fight here, but we don't have any footage of it besides the saber swinging through the trees and then being caught by the Acolyte. I honestly think that Yord will bite the bullet here, and I think that the Acolyte will most likely wipe out everyone that is here, or will have believed so until Sol confronts them. Hence why the Acolyte turns back around and ignites their saber. We can tell that this is the same setting because if you look behind Sol here, the trees are still burnt and are still burning from the saber after it was thrown. Following this, we get all these shots of Sol talking and getting ready for the fight before we cut to the shot. I'm going to have it on a loop here. This part of the fight is between Sol and the Acolyte. I don't think Sol's going to die here, and we have footage of him after this, so I think that he might just get force pushed away and knocked out, or incapacitated in some way. When this happens, Jeki will be regaining consciousness from the force push at the end of episode 4, and she will see Sol getting tossed away, and this is where we will move to the Jeki footage. I have to say as well, Jeki has easily become my favorite character in the show so far, along with Sol. We see Daphne King as Jeki and some behind-the-scenes footage with one saber striking, and it is followed by a blink and you'll miss it shot of her swinging two sabers. One of these sabers looks to belong to Kelneka, and it looks like it's his crossguard saber. Jeki is swinging and spinning backwards as the Acolyte advances towards her. This is once again on a loop. This also reminds me a lot of an Attack with Clones when Anakin takes Obi-Wan's saber and uses two sabers to fight Dooku, but we all know how that fight ended. With this, I think Jeki will die, but just not from the Acolyte. I'll have more on that in just a second. Following the spinning, I believe that one of the sabers will be cut in half based on the shot that I have now playing. Along with that, we see Mei perform a judo hip toss on Jeki, throwing her to the ground, and I think from here we will see Mei grab a hold of her and will start forcing the knife towards her neck, trying to kill her. And I think that here is when the Acolyte will be revealed to be Kamir. We have this shot in the same forest of the Acolyte's helmet on the ground, and this is followed by Mei force pulling the Acolyte's saber to her. This is where I think Kamir will die, along with Jeki. You might be asking, how do I know that this is Kamir? Well, I don't know for sure if it's fully him, but the actor who plays Kamir, Manny Jacinto, said almost a year ago that there will be a fight that is just as long as the Phantom Menace fight. This was right before the reports and tweets came out saying that this fight would be topping the Phantom Menace. Following this, we are going to move on to the second subplot, and that is Osha and Sol's chase, where I think Sol will either kill Mei or Osha. I think that during the fight in the forest, Osha will try and escape after Soul tells her to run, and this would be right before Soul fights the Acolyte. Obviously, after this, we have the shot of May with the saber, so I think that she will leave the planet as well. When Soul and Osha get reunited on the Jedi's ship, I think Soul will fully tell Osha everything that we have been wondering all along, and this will send her in complete panic. She won't trust Soul and will flee his ship, and this correlates with the following shot of Soul looking upset, and then him running to the cockpit to see one of the ships attached to the cruiser taking off and starting to flee from the planet's orbit. From here, Soul will also detach part of the ship, mainly the cockpit, and will pursue Osha to the planet with the rings. We can tell these two shots are from the same scene based on the planet to the left here. From here we get a shot of Soul hitting some buttons on the ship, along with some shots from the inside of the cockpit during the pursuit. We will then follow Osha as she makes her way to the ice rings while Soul is in pursuit. Something will happen and Soul will crash into Osha's ship, sending her tumbling through the rings. You might be asking, how the hell do I know that this is Osha? Well, simply through this shot. When Osha starts flicking the switches on the ship, which I believe to be the stabilizer, we could see her arm in her sleeve. This is the exact outfit as the Jedi civilian robes that she was wearing during the last episode. More on that in a little bit. Following this, we see Osha continue to crash through the rings and make it out the other side. Our next shot is of Osha on this beach coming out of this cave clearing. She looks like she's still wearing her Jedi civilian robes here, or at least the undershirt. That is followed by her finding the Acolyte saber on this beach. Somehow May had gotten there as well. I believe that this was from the fight. With that, I think either Osha and May will fight, or Soul and Osha will fight, based off of these next two shots I have. We have these next two behind-the-scenes shots, and the first one is of Soul igniting a saber in this building. I believe that these are some ruins of some sort, and it is the same area where Osha and May are. If you look over Soul's head here, you can see that it is still daytime. Following this, we get another daytime behind-the-scenes shot of Soul with the saber. At first, I thought this was the same setting as Kalnaka's post, but looking at it further, the terrain is different, and I think that this is the ruined setting still. We don't know anything that happens beyond this point, minus two shots. One of them is Vanestra with her Padawan as she ignites her light whip. This is the same exact setting as Kanalka's post, and I believe that this is the morning after the big fight. Vanestra and her Padawan had come here after they didn't hear from the Jedi, and they're stumbling upon their bodies. The final shot we have is of Soul in his ship jumping to light speed, and I believe that this is also the same day that Vanestra finds the bodies, and they are all leaving with the wounded and or fallen Jedi. Well, that is all I have for you all. I'm extremely interested in next week's episode, and I cannot wait to see where it goes. I would love to hear from you all in the comments down below on what you think of the video. Joe from Jar Jar Jargon and I will be live once again this Sunday for Cantina Jargon, so make sure you like and subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss that stream. But without further ado, I will see you all in the next one, and lastly, may the Force be with you all.